Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome dear students. I am Mustafa, subject specialist in English at Divisional Public School and Inter College Sahiwal.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful. Dear students, we are going to learn bare infinitive, Oxford Grammar Tree, Unit number 6, namely non-finite verbs with exercise A. Dear students, today the objectives of learning are: by the end of working on the bare infinitives, you will be able to relate the infinitives with non-finite verbs. Number 2, comprehend the function of the infinitive. Number 3, compare the full and bare infinitives. Next, identify the kinds of infinitives and solve the assigned exercise of the full and bare infinitives. The contents of today's lecture are: number 1, linking infinitives with non-finite verbs. Then there is comparing of finite and non-finite verbs. Then there are functions of non-finite verbs. After that, we will discuss the functions of infinitives. After that, there are kinds of infinitives. Then the functions of the bare infinitive, verbs, expressions and modal verbs, followed by the bare infinitives. Then there is the solution to exercise A, comparing full and bare infinitives. Then there is recapitulation of today's lecture, and then there is homework assigned. Dear students, what is bare infinitive? Bare means without, and bare infinitive is a kind of infinitive which does not have to before the base form of the verb. The question comes to the mind that what is infinitive? Infinitive is a kind of a non-finite verb. Then another question comes to the mind: what are non-finite verbs? Non-finite verbs are those verbs which do not act like verbs. They are used as adjectives, nouns and adverbs. Then another question comes to mind: what are finite verbs? Dear students, finite verbs are those verbs which are bound by number, person and tense. Then comes to the mind a question: what is verb? Verb is a word that describes the condition of the subject or the action of the subject. Let us compare finite verb with the non-finite verb. In the first column, there is the example of finite verb: you are playing hockey. In this sentence, we see that you and are agree with regard to subject and number. You are playing hockey. There is subject verb agreement in this sentence. Whereas in column number 2, in non-finite verbs, there are two examples: he likes to play hockey, you like to play hockey. In these two sentences, there is the subject verb agreement as he likes, you like, but we see that there is no effect with regard to number or person. To play is the same in these two sentences. Now we go to the second example of finite verbs. She has studied the second chapter of science. This sentence shows present perfect tense, whereas in non-finite verbs the example is we come to school to study. This sentence shows simple present tense, whereas sentence number 2 shows present perfect tense. She has come to study. But we see that to study is not affected by the tense. Dear students, consider the following examples. I want to meet the president. The object of want is to meet, and this is noun. Object in a sentence is always a noun. Example number 2, swimming is my favorite exercise. Swimming is the subject of the sentence, so swimming is noun. In sentence number 3, the beaten team left the field. Beaten is the quality of the team, so beaten is used as adjective. And sentence number 4, I can't wait to see. In this sentence, to see qualifies the verb wait, so to see is an adverb. So we conclude that unaffected by number, person and tense, the non-finite verb is used as noun, adjective or adverb. Now dear students, we come to the next point. It is infinitive as a kind of non-finite verb. Dear students, infinitive is a kind of verb that is used to describe the purpose of an action. Consider the example. She wants to go on a world tour. To go shows the purpose of the subject. Example number 2, my mother lets me watch television in free time. Watch shows the purpose of the subject. Next is, I request you to kindly grant me leave. To grant shows the purpose. What does an infinitive do? Dear students, infinitive is used to indicate the purpose of an action. For example, I will lock the door to prevent the theft. Number 2, infinitive is used as the subject of the sentence. To swim in the deep lake may be dangerous. To swim is the subject of the sentence. It is an infinitive. Next point is that an infinitive is used as a direct object. For example, I like to write in English. To write is the direct object of the verb like. Next point is that an infinitive is used as subject complement. For example, her aim is to fly. To fly is an infinitive, that is the subject complement of his aim. Dear students, now we go further. We are going to discuss the kinds of infinitives. Number 1, first kind of infinitive is full infinitive. An infinitive that is preceded by to is called a full infinitive. Its form is to plus base form of the verb. Example is, this is a nice place to live. Second kind of infinitive is bare infinitive. It is an infinitive without to is called a bare infinitive. Its example is, I heard her scream in anger. Scream is a bare infinitive. Kind number 3 of infinitive is split infinitive. When an adverb is put in between to and the verb, this infinitive is split. Its example is, I advised her to at once report on duty. To report is the third kind of infinitive is split infinitive. When an adverb is put in between to and the verb, this infinitive is split. For example, I advised her to at once report on duty. Dear students, keep special verbs in mind. These verbs are followed by bare infinitives. These are feel, hear, make, find, need, watch, observe, let. Its examples are: he made her work, he heard someone slam the door. In these two examples, work and slam are bare infinitives. Made and heard are the verbs that are followed by bare infinitives. Another point is that there are some expressions which are followed by bare infinitives: had better, would rather, sooner than. Its examples are: you had better leave now, he would rather suffer than be dishonest. In these two examples, leave and suffer are bare infinitives. Had better and would rather are followed by bare infinitives. Another point is that why and why not are the expressions which are followed by bare infinitives. Its examples are: why worry about the future? Why not take a taxi? Worry and take are bare infinitives. Why and why not are the expressions which are followed by bare infinitives. Another point is that modal verbs are followed by bare infinitives. Must, ought to, can, could, must, could, would, shall are the modal verbs which are followed by bare infinitives. Its examples are: he can paint well, you must carry your passport, you ought to look after yourself. In these three examples, paint, carry and look are bare infinitives, because can, must and ought to are the modal verbs which are followed by bare infinitives. Dear students, now we are working on the exercise A, page number 34, the non-finite verbs, chapter number 6, OG tree. Its question statement is, the question is, use the verbs given in brackets with or without to as required. Sentence number 1 is, you need not ask for permission. Dear students, need not is a verb that requires bare infinitive. Need not is a verb that is followed by a bare infinitive, so its solution is, you need not ask for permission. Ask is a bare infinitive. Sentence number 2, I used to live in the next street. Used to is a verb that is followed by a bare infinitive, so its solution is, I used to live in the next street. Live is a bare infinitive. Sentence number 3, may I use your phone? Dear students, may is a modal verb that is followed by a bare infinitive. Its solution should be, may I use your pen? Use is a bare infinitive. Next sentence is, they refused accept my gift. Refused is a verb that requires full infinitive, so its solution should be, they refused to accept my gift. To accept is a full infinitive. Sentence number 5 is an interesting one. I would like him go to the library, but I can't make him go. In this sentence, like is a verb that needs full infinitive, whereas in the second clause, make is a verb that needs bare infinitive. So its solution is, I would like him to go to the library, but I can't make him go. In first clause, to go is an inclusion in the first clause. To go is a full infinitive, while in the second clause, go is used as a bare infinitive. Dear students, you will solve sentences number 6 to 10 as homework. Now we are going to recapitulate today's learning. Point number 1 is finite verbs are concerned with number, person and tense. Non-finite verbs are not bound by number, person and tense. Non-finite verbs are used as nouns, adjectives or adverbs. Next point is infinitives show the purpose of an action. Then infinitives are of three kinds: full, bare and split. And last point is that is to be kept in mind that certain verbs and expressions such as feel, make, hear, need, watch, see, observe, let, had better, would rather, sooner than, why not, can, could, shall, should, must, dare, etc. are always followed by bare infinitives. Today's learning is over. There is homework for you. Complete the exercise A, sentences 6 to 10 with the help of the learned concepts of full infinitives and bare infinitives on OG3 pages 34-35. Next point is prepare exercise A with appropriate reasons for class test. Okay, dear students, take care of yourself. Have a nice day. Allah Hafiz.